usual. We are going to be doing a VR music game showcase. Most of these games don't rely as much on the rhythm and timing side, but everything is very much music adjacent. We are going to start with Synth Riders, move into a new up-and-comer, BoomBox, and then finish off with something fun, Pistol Whip. So we will get started with Synth Riders right now. Steam, please. All right. So, Shinji, if you want to go ahead and get started on the basics and scoring, by all means.
Absolutely, will do. So we're going to be starting off with Synth Riders. As Chris mentioned, we're doing a showcase of 3 different VR music games. And like Chris said, some of them are more music-based. They're not so much about accuracy like most rhythm games are, but some of them do have a little bit more accuracy to them. But I'll be discussing that. Also, I am going to be actively keeping an eye on chat, so if you do have questions about these, please feel free. Chris is not going to be quite as visible for chat, but that's partially why I'm here. So, we are starting off with Synth Riders. So Synth Riders first got described to me by Chris as it's kind of like ping pong. So you have blue and red targets, and those are for left and right hand specifically, although those can be changed. And basically you're holding up paddles in your hand, and you want them to be as on center to the targets when they pass through as possible. So there's no real timing on when you're hitting them per se, but you want to be close to the center of those targets as possible. That's where the scoring comes in. There are also walls that you do need to dodge, much like in Beat Saber. And then there are holds. Green holds you can do with any hand, but it has to be continuously with the same hand. And then we have orange holds, which you have to hit with both hands. Like Chris said, it's kind of music adjacent, since there's no real specific timing on hitting these notes. But given the nature of the charts and how they work with the music, that's where the timing comes in. Like if you're doing things in sync with the music, then you're going to be moving around with the targets, and things will all flow together a little bit more smoothly. I do have to say, this is one of my favorite things about Synth Riders, is that it does seem to have a decent selection of kind of electro swing stuff in it, which is just super fun for dancing around too. That's one of the best things about VR games, in my opinion, is that all of the motion that they incorporate, and they just encourage you to literally dance and have a good time.
What's the point in building? What's the point in building empty empires now?
That was a nice warm-up. So, yeah, Synth Riders. Synth Riders does have a custom mapping community, some mods. I haven't really dived in, but there's quite a bit more content to this other than, you know, being delightfully full of synthwave. And, electro swing. Words. I can use them.
Now, you mentioned about diving into the content for this game. If I remember correctly, so Synth Riders does have its official songs, but there are unofficial custom songs and maps that the community has been working on as well. Is that correct?
Yes, mostly community. They are for personal use. So you can't use them in multiplayer like you can in Beat Saber. At least I don't think so. Could be wrong. But the library does exist, and they are just as delightfully challenging as any, custom map for a custom rhythm game as you would expect.
Yeah, I know that for Beat Saber's, relatively speaking, very organized for its custom content, both in terms of not just songs and maps, but also possible extensions, visual mods, and the like. For some of these games in this showcase, some of them do have custom support, more official or unofficial than others, and that's something that we will try to be commenting on as we go through the different games. Yeah, and it looks like in chat, Fire just mentioning for Synth Riders, you can use custom songs in multiplayer as long as both people have the song. So again, it's not quite as centralized as Beat Saber is yet, but again, it's a community effort, so results are going to vary from game to game. I do like that this game does also have a decent amount of synthwave in it as well, because just with the overall visual aesthetics of this game, I think it's pretty on point. And again, talking about VR gaming, it's also nice that, speaking about Chris specifically, that they've got the setup for the full body tracking as well, because again, a lot of these games are also really about the experience. A lot of the devs do put a lot of care in trying to create an actual environment and experience. It's just nice to see some streamers like Chris, Omote, and other folks online that really do try to deep dive to get that set up so that even if you're not playing, you're just watching. It is an incredible experience to watch as well.
Oh, can I get a time check at 25 minutes per each game, just so I have an idea of where we're at?
Absolutely.
Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, sure thing.
Should have brought that
Right
up
now
earlier.
we're just under 15 minutes in, so we've got roughly like another 10 minutes before we'll be at that warning, just to let you know.
Can squeeze in like 2 or 3 more. So why don't we do something special? They recently came out with, what was it? Synthwave Essentials 2, where they got a really important license. So, speaking of experiences,
Looks like this map has slightly hyped up visuals. That's awesome.
yep, it's an experience map. First of its kind for the game. There's a big update coming soon, so...
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah. It's the Out of the World update. It's getting some serious graphic updates as far as the art assets. I believe there's going to be more experience maps, improved multiplayer. Check out the Steam store for the announcement, because I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, and talking to a backbone off of what I was mentioning earlier, again, one of the really neat things about VR gaming is that for a lot of it, it is about experiences. Like, for examples on this, it's much a artistic and visual journey. So some maps are more about lots of notes being really accurate, and then some of them it's more a literal visual experience. And it's really great to see, because it just opens up a ton of creativity for people that want to make maps or courses or what have you. Wow, those gates with the orchestral sticks are really, really awesome.
Like a cog, we are caged in simulations.
And it looks like we just had a $15 donation from Dafty saying, thank you so much, Daphne. Appreciate the donation. And again, thank you so much for the Easy 2 showcase earlier. Just fantastic stuff. Really appreciate the support. Speaking of thank yous for the support, again, so far this weekend, we just broke over 2,500 just a little while ago. Really appreciate the support for Direct Relief, everyone. Thank you so much for coming together. And again, really happy to have Link Up returning as well. Both The Hope of Tomorrow earlier this month, and then Link Up this weekend. This month has just been a fantastic month for the music game community coming together and just being incredible.
All right. So we should have, like, what, another 6 minutes left?
Yeah, right now it's your 17 minutes in, so you've actually got about 13 minutes left.
Okie dokie.
And Mecha Guy and Dragon to Platino, I agree. Yeah, that last chart was incredibly hype and really good on visuals. But then again, that's because it was explicitly an experience map, so it was more about the visuals and the journey as opposed to being challenging for notes and patterns. Got Daphne in chat saying, I need more VR rhythm games. Headset's been dedicated to Half-Life Alex machine. Honestly, I want to get more into VR music gaming myself, just because from a dev standpoint, there's a lot of stuff happening, and there's a lot of frontier that hasn't been explored. It's also why I'm really excited that we have this showcase here to try to show more folks what's happening in the scene. And again, big thanks to Link Up for accepting Chris to do the showcase, and again, thanks to Chris for wanting me on commentary. But yeah, we've got games for this showcase like Synth Rider right now. We're also going to be doing BoomBox and Pistol Whip. And of course, there's games like Beat Saber and Audica, and there's always more stuff that's constantly happening as well. It's a really exciting frontier right now, in my opinion, both for music gaming and just as a game dev perspective in general.
Alright, so time for one more before we switch over?
Probably, possibly even two more. You're essentially 21 minutes in on this.
Ah, very good. All right.
And if we do take a quick look, you can see that there is that accuracy meter. Again, the scoring for this, it's not based on when you're hitting the targets, it's just how close to the center of the target you are with each hand.
Alright. Needs more electro swing, I think.
I mean, I'm never going to say no to electro swing. It's one of my favorite genres.
So, the Synthwave Essential maps in Synth Riders, or not Synthwave, why do I keep saying that? The Electro Swing, all are super dancey. Like, really encourage it, which, you know, super appropriate.
Ooh. I think that's one of the good things both about a lot of the maps for Beat Saber along with Synth Riders as well, is that they encourage you to not just move, but actually dance with the songs, which, given the space that you're playing in, like, I think it's a good thing that they're encouraging that on the player.
It was a time when nothing ever happened. Drank too much wine, spent dreary nights alone. Feeling uninspired from my wildest eyes, I was too downcast for love. I couldn't move on. It was a thing, like something from the movies. Not just a fling, a random escapade. Suddenly aware I could only stare at the face in front of me. I didn't know what to do. I love you then, I love you still. Anyone who looks can clearly see. I love you then, I always will. And how I adore that you love me. It was a night of stars aglow with secrets. My heart took flight, a fire burned below. I cannot recall how you altered all the assumptions I had made. I didn't want you to go. I love you then, I love you still. Anyone who looks can clearly see. I love you then, I always will. And how I adore that you love me. It was a thing, like something from the movies, not just a fling, a random escapade. Suddenly aware I could only stare at the face in front of me. I didn't know what to do. I loved you then, I love you still. Anyone who looks can clearly see. I love you then, I always will. And how I adore that you love me. I love you then, I love you still. Anyone who looks can clearly see. I love you then, I always will. And how I adore it. I'm just crazy for it. Now I'm really sure that you love me.
All right.
Such fun stuff, but then again, Electro Swing typically is.
All right. So,
So we are at that 5-minute mark before wanting to switch over.
all right. So give me time for one more. Cutting over to the new games, it literally just takes a few seconds.
I love you then, I love you.
More electro swing. Should we try an expert? Yeah. Let's see how this
Why
goes.
not? What's the worst that could happen?
Follow my face.
So in regards to pass-fail on this, that is something that we hadn't commented on yet.
Life
so
bar.
you'll notice on the interface, dead center, we have the score, and below that, there's the time remaining, and then
Yeah,
there's
no, that's not
two
happening.
white bars that are like wings. That is the life bar, which up until now has always been completely full, but yeah, it looks like that track's not happening.
No. Like, this is one of the games that I enjoy the most, but have, like, I don't want to say the least proficiency in. Like, I'm competent, but not touching leaderboards anytime soon.
Big fan of this song.
Walking down the street and you hear that heavy beat. Can't help but walk your feet down all the way till you meet people laughing and dancing all night long. And through the flashing lights, see the band playing their old song. And you wanna see the world through different eyes just for tonight. And you're hoping that
Yeah, and those walls for leans look perfectly timed too. Again, just love the fact that so many music games for VR lean into making you actually dance with the song.
walk your feet down.
Heck, all right. Well, that's one way to finish Synth Riders. Anyways. Something proficiency, something need more practice. Anyways. So, now we're going to be moving on to BoomBox. BoomBox is a new contender in the VR music scene. They are, if anyone's familiar with a member of the community, Mirror2DX, one of their friends is a dev for the game. Just came out of early access. So ramped up unlocks, achievements, all kinds of goodies. And music library getting much better, so...
So, while we're also switching over games, just a quick reminder, this showcase is a part of Link Up 2. We are raising funds towards direct relief and their COVID-19 response. Again, we've already broken 2,500. And again, thank you everyone so much both for being here, being tuned in, helping make this event as amazing as it is. Appreciate all of you being here. And as what Chris was mentioning, this is a relatively new contender in the VR music game space. It's actually a game that I'm very excited about, just because of the focus that the devs do have on the community, but we'll talk more about that as we get through showcasing the game. But again, if you are interested in donating to help out, we do have that donate command happening in chat. Again, thank you for the reminder. Georgia Storm and Kim, appreciate it.
All right. So, if you want to go ahead and get started on basics and scoring, but first, hey, Papa. Hi. This game has a very, very important feature.
You can pet the cat.
Best rhythm game feature ever. Conmai when. I don't know if I'm warmed up quite enough for a 6-4 yet, so... Should be able to do a 6.
And looks like Chad is very appreciative of the fact that, yes, you can indeed pet the cat or dog. But you'll also notice that that Poopa is with us as we're playing tracks. So... Now, BoomBox is a bit interesting. A lot of other VR music games are not as concerned with timing accuracy, but just being in certain positions. BoomBox does care about it. So we see those different drum heads coming towards us, and then Chris is hitting them with mallets. For scoring in this game, it's based on your speed of hitting the drum, the angle, so being aligned, for hitting it directionally correctly, your aim, so being close so that your mallet is on the center of the drum, and the timing. Again, that's not... A lot of VR music games don't worry about timing. It's more just, your hand was in the right position when the target passed you by. This does care about when you actually hit it. And of those 4 components, being on the aim for the center of the drum head and hitting it on time are the biggest parts of the scoring. They are weighted much heavier than your speed or your angle. Dragon is saying that this feels like big boy version of Beat Saber. Kind of. Again, with Beat Saber, in case you don't know, that's based on slicing through blocks in 2 respects. That you are centered on the block, and that you are cleanly slicing through it. The angle that your hand is at when you first start the slice, and the angle at the end. Whereas with this, there is that to a degree, but it's actually more concerned about being centered and on time for when you're actually hitting it. So this actually does have a much bigger emphasis on timing than not just Beat Saber, but a lot of other music games, which is pretty interesting, again, relative for most VR music games. So Mr. Cool in chat is saying, for whatever reason, this seems both more and less intuitive to read than Beat Saber, or at least to them anyways, and I am curious as to what Chris's thoughts are on that.
It's a different kind of read, but the similarity to Beat Saber is there as far as reading skills dovetailing from one game into the other. So if you're comfortable in Beat Saber, you'll be able to pick this one up pretty quick. It is different though. The range of motion and the muscles being used are completely different. So, your body's going to be grumpy for a little while if you're jumped straight into high-level play, but you should adjust fairly quickly.
I'm really glad Voicians is in this game. So yeah, the song that Chris is currently playing is by a drum and bass group called Voicians that I'm actually personally a big fan of and have encountered them in some other games. So it's at this point that I do want to mention about the artists that are in this game. Chris earlier was talking about how the library for this game is getting better. One of my favorite things about BoomBox as a project is for all of the music that they're getting into the game, they're actually really careful about making sure that the artists know that it's for a game. They make sure that it is stream friendly and knowing that, hey, can like players do custom maps and do their own thing. Like for example, Camellia, well known within Bimani for like Sound Voltex and 2DX, they licensed 150 songs from Camellia. Not all of them are in the game yet, but there's a 150 song library from Camellia that players can just go at, pick songs, and make maps for them if they want to. And then also for streaming them, they're good to go. Also, right on BoomBox's website, there's a list of here are all the songs that are good to go. If you're a musician and you want to submit it to the community, here you go, you can. And, oh, do you want us to commission something? Here's a place where you can request and or donate towards the license to get songs. So they are very receptive to the community in terms of what music they want to have in the game and making sure that the music that is in the game is good to go for both streaming and making custom content with, which I think is wonderful.
Just trying to figure out if that's the song that I think it is. Speaking of Camellia, we'll get there. Okay. Time to scrape our face on the pavement. Let's see what happens.
Becca guy mentioning love the TV and radio UI touches for the previews. Yeah, I will say I do like the overall visual style of this game quite a bit. Like a lot of VR games tend to have the like Tron-esque kind of environments, whereas this is in a little bit more of a different direction. Feels a little more homey in comparison, and I quite like it. Yeah, and Roy was agreeing, saying that the game's aesthetics are really cute. And yeah, again, I think that they're focusing more on just a more friendly aesthetic as opposed to like future and serious business kind of aesthetic, which, again, neither is more right or wrong, but I am glad to see that we have a game that's going in a different direction than a lot of other games, which is nice.
So, game does now support multiplayer. It's been coming a long way. And there's lots of little community Easter eggs and stuff when it comes to the UI as well. So, jump over to the drum room real quick because, you know, that's silly. But as you progress through the game, you can customize your sticks, give Papa hats, skins, and frames. You know, so there are some progression goodies in this game that are notable. How do I escape? There you are. Okay. Any questions? Anything come up recently that I should be aware of?
Not at the moment. Chat's just really enjoying the game, it seems. Couple comparisons, especially for the cave, in terms of aesthetics, to Slime Rancher have been made, and I would agree in that, like, yeah, it is kind of more in that kind of like cutesy, friendly direction for like the overall style.
I just like the cave because it's darker, makes things easier to read.
Yeah, from a contrast standpoint, it is also definitely different. I could see it being trickier to read if it was a brighter environment, especially since this game does care about both precision and timing, which again is not common. However, Poopa is definitely making a very big impression with chat. Chat is very happy that both
Poopa's so
you can
good.
pet the cat, and you can also get hats and unlocks for Poopa.
All right, this is going to be a sight read. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, best of luck. And just to let you know, you're about 12 minutes in on
Okay.
the block for BoomBox.
Thank you.
So Wolfork is saying, Cayman Lake, what game is this? So this is BoomBox. So right now we're in the middle of doing a VR showcase of different games. I'm Shinji. I'm on commentary with the delightful ItsMxKris center stage. So Wolfork, this is BoomBox. It is a relatively new VR music game. It actually just came out of early access on Steam. And before this, we were playing Synth Riders, and then after BoomBox, we're also going to be doing some Pistol Whip before we wrap things up. But this is specifically BoomBox, and it is a game where you are hitting drum heads. One thing to note about BoomBox is, again, it cares about when you are hitting them. With a lot of other VR music games, like for example Beat Saber, it's just being center on the block and cleanly slicing through it, and then Synth Rider being center on the orbs for the targets. But they don't really care about timing, whereas BoomBox actually has a pretty heavy emphasis on not only being center on what you're hitting, but when. So there actually is a very strong timing element to this game, which a lot of other VR music games don't have. But yeah, if you haven't heard of this, it's a wonderful game. Again, like we mentioned earlier at the start of showing BoomBox, there's a great push by the devs to make sure that all the music in the game is very community friendly in that there's a large library of songs that you can make custom maps for, and they're also stream friendly as well. There's also a very easy means of requesting songs, or if you're a musician, getting your music in the game for folks to use. It's really great as far as a content creation perspective is concerned. And of course, happy to remind folks, there's a cat, and you can pet him.
I'll take an 88 on a sight read. It's not bad.
I was just about to say that was a fantastic job for a sight read, and chat was also really enjoying that song as well. Lots of sour please and sour if you don't mind.
All right. So, when did this sneak in here? Uh-oh. Oh, are we about to do a 7? Oh, we're about to do a 7. So, turning up the heat a little bit. If I wipe out on this, don't blame me. Ow.
Excellent job. I was going to say a lot of those, especially on the left hand, it seemed like there were some really, really active streams on the single hands.
Oh, that's actually one of the things that I've been meaning to talk about, is for whatever reason, like I find it very kinesthetically pleasing, like just like really consistent note runs in this game are just, I don't know, like they just feel so good.
Yeah, it seems that like for, especially for VR games, that the overall like game state or like flow that you can get into is really important. We didn't really talk about that during Synth Rider, so like how would you say like the overall game state or like, you know, the flow of things is for Synth Riders and for BoomBox?
As far as what again? I'm sorry.
Oh, just like the way that it feels, like when everything is as it should be, like if it's a good chart or if it's an experience map and things are just really vibing well, like how would you say the overall game feel is?
I mean, you can kind of see it in the performance. If you really see me bopping around, that's usually when it's like clicking. Good map, good song, you know, like higher level of confidence that I can actually move a little bit more and focus less on accuracy because the accuracy is going to happen and I can just add more to it. I mean, that is the thing about VR that kind of saved my life in a lot of ways, is it's so immersive and just takes you out and puts you somewhere else. You know, like, yeah, it's totally gimmicky, and I get that. Like, a lot of people lose the appeal after, like, the first couple of times, but, you know, like, if it hooks you, it's going to hook you hard, and, you know, then you get rewarded with games like this, and awesome communities, and cute cats.
Excellent. And just a heads up, you're at the 23 mark for BoomBox.
Okay.
So you probably got time for, like, one more song, and then it might be good to switch over to the last game for the showcase.
All right, very good. I'm going to stall for a little bit longer here if you don't mind, because, you know, hydrate or dihydrate, folks.
Yeah, and it is worth remembering that avatar you're seeing on screen, like, that is Chris fully moving around. Again, one of the nice things with VR is that if you've got the setup for it, you can do complete body tracking, but all that dancing and bopping around, like, that's not the game. That is Chris in action.
So for anyone that's curious, I've been doing VR for, actually, that is something that I meant to bring up. Today is my 1 year streamversary. 1 year ago today, thanks to yours truly, Shinji here, I started streaming, started with DJ Max, and now a year later and 10 months of VR obsession, hi, how's it going? Here we are. I don't know why I didn't bring that up sooner. It's one of the reasons why I was so happy about this event.
Lots of kudos coming in from chat. Thank you, Roro, Phase, Wolfwork. Really appreciate it. Also, I'm going to guess that's Vincent with the hype from the Music Games Atlanta user. Again, thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. And echoing off that, again, thank you all for being here. And I really do appreciate Link Up for not only having this block, but again, Chris, thank you for having me on commentary. Really just wonderful weekend for the music game community to be coming together and doing some awesome work for direct release. So again, thank you all so much for being here. As always, whether you're able to help and donate or just being here and chat and having a good time, you are helping out a tremendous cause. Thank you, everyone. Really do appreciate it. Also, Daffy in chat, thank you. Appreciate the kudos on the streamiversary.
Thank you, everyone.
And again, speaking about those donations, so we are a little over $2,500. Again, tremendous work by everyone. Thank you so much. Oh, and we've got a donation coming in from Roro, saying streamiversary for charity hype. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate that support, Roro. And again, thank you so much for the kudos and hype.
Thank you so much. Wasn't expecting to pass that, actually. I'll take a B.
Good stuff.
All right, so where are we time-wise? Might have time for one more.
Yeah, I was going to say that you've got for 27 minutes.
Yeah, we got enough for one more. Let's give BoomBox a little bit more time in the light.
Sounds like a plan.
Did I already run this one through? I can't remember.
I will be honest, I'm not sure.
Well, we're going to do it again, but harder, so.
Yeah, I like that Roro saying, again, with gusto.
Oh, yeah, no, I was not expecting to pass that one. But hey, it's worth a shot. Anyway, so yeah, everyone, that's BoomBox. Excuse you. Excuse you. Excuse you. Pause menu. Thank you. Hush. Yeah, no. I still feel like this game has a lot of potential that just has not been realized yet. The devs are very active. The community is super sweet. So if you're into VR, definitely recommend grabbing this one and showing them some love.
I agree with that, actually, in terms of unrealized potential. But again, with the emphasis the devs have on the community being able to make their own maps and make content for the game as well, like, I do think it's just a matter of time. And I have to say, out of all of the VR projects or VR games out there right now, at least in the music game space, that BoomBox is probably the one that I'm personally the most excited about, for those exact reasons.
All right, so camera angle, yes, we are slightly different, and we should be. So we are going to be wrapping up with Pistol Whip, which is honestly one of my favorite VR games mechanically speaking, just because when talking about flow state and a game clicking, when you really get into this game, you can really get into this game, and it makes you feel like such a badass. So, welcome to Pistol Whip. So, this one does spend a little bit more time on accuracy. You're shooting the dudes, and your reloading needs to be on beat. Brendan, continue.
Yeah, I was going to mention, like, mechanically, for me personally, I think I like BoomBox the most because it has an emphasis on timing. But in terms of, like, overall concept, execution, and yeah, that flow state when everything clicks and how it makes you feel as a player, far and away, Pistol Whip is probably my favorite. I was thinking maybe we might want to just play a level, kind of let the game talk for itself, and then we get a little bit more into on exactly how it works. But yeah, echoing Daffy in chat, Pistol Whip is a rhythm game hybrid done right, and I strongly agree.
Let's go.
Such an experience, and as Dragon Latino in chat says, so nice of the bad guys to drop a backing track for you to shoot them to.
I mean, that's about right. So, the basics of this game. Hit dudes in the head or the chest. Critical points. Closer to a critical point, higher the score. That is your aim accuracy. General accuracy is going to be your timing to the music and your reloads. Head is the only thing that matters. Bullets can go through the body all day long. Gotta protect the head. Lose your shield. 8 on-hit beats, get your shield back. Pistol whip somebody, get your shield back. 2 hits though, dead.
So if I remember, for accuracy, like in terms of the terms that the game uses, accuracy is you're doing everything on time. So you might have noticed as we were going through that last level, there was a white flashing on quarter beats, and that's what the game cares about. It's either shooting shots or reloading. You want those actions to be on those down beats. And then for aim, you want to be hitting critical areas. So either you're shooting enemies in the head or heart area, and anytime you do a pistol whip on a close enemy, that's just max points. Roro saying, to be honest, didn't realize the game was quite like this. Pleasantly surprised. Yeah, again, like, it's an easy concept of, shoot enemies in time with the music. But getting it executed properly is a completely different story. There's lots of great visual cues to help you stay on beat. Plus, if you take a look at Chris's, kind of head cam in the upper right part of the screen, as opposed to just the general environment, you'll notice you do get some indicators as well for when shots are coming in at you. But again, everything does flow incredibly well.
Heck. So, game is very challenging as well. I am playing exclusively on hard. I've gotten most of them on hard, but still working my way through them.
Talking about the gameplay, so this does have, like, arcade mode, which is what you've been playing, which is typically play a song, get score.
Yes.
But there's also campaign and challenges, correct?
Yes, so my save got reset. There is a campaign mode, 5 episodes, they get progressively harder. Very synthwave, very cool. Honestly, I don't want to spoil it. Look it up online, watch somebody competent playing it. It's so good. It is super cheesy, and I'm glad that they leaned into that, especially with the overall aesthetic of the game. And the soundtrack for the entire campaign mode is an absolute banger. Challenge mode, rotating challenges, random songs, random modifiers, try to be the best that you can be, and, that's that. Training, pretty self-explanatory, and yeah.
Now, there are modifiers in this game, and generally it's harder gameplay for better scoring, kind of a risk-reward. Is that right?
Yeah, so dual wield used to be a penalty, but honestly, it really wasn't that much of a skill improvement to have two guns versus having to deal with one. Others that increase difficulty, that limit ammo, take you to one-hit kill, bullet ricochet, bounce back. These are how you can get like super S scores and, you know, go up the leaderboard as high as possible. I obviously have not really done much with modifiers because I'm still trying to pull off S's on like standard difficulty hard, but they do exist. You know, there is a limited soundtrack. This is obviously a hard game to map for, just due to the nature of how it works. You know,
Yeah,
so
the
for
other games that we've done so far, they do have custom maps unofficially by the community. But yeah, as you just said, because of how much more intricate the flow state is in this, there really isn't custom content for this, at least not yet, right?
Not yet. Doubt there ever will be. Again, this I would imagine this would be difficult even for like, you know, an experienced mapping community.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. And just a quick heads up, so we are about 20 minutes before the hour, so we've got about 15 minutes left for Pistol Whip. And a quick reminder for folks coming up after this showcase, we've got Andy Numbers with Densha de Go, which you wouldn't think is rhythm related, but lots of timing in that game. And honestly, glad to see that someone's showcasing that this weekend, because that game is super fun. Trying not to comment mid-song on this too much, just because, again, overall aesthetic and the actual song track of this is just such a banging good time. So a quick reminder, we are here with Link Up 2, helping raise funds for direct relief in the COVID-19 response, just shy of $2,600. And again, everyone that's here, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope we're all having a great weekend, and thank you for being here for a great cause. Guy saying that it feels entirely like a Matrix training mode down to the music, and yeah, I agree. The a couple scenes from the Matrix, especially the track "Club to Death," comes to mind. You are not wrong on that, Mecha Guy.
Excuse you. Group hug time.
bass is delicious.
Dance party. Like I said, this game just feels so good. Time check? Hello? Shinji? Can I not hear people? Hello? Shinji? I don't know how, but I got yanked out of the room. Can you throw me back in? I have no idea how that happened, but hey, I'm back.
I was just about to say, it looks like in that last song you dropped from the Discord. But yeah, we've got just about 8 minutes left.
Okay, very good. Alright.
Yep, you seem to be good to go from my end.
Well, that was a great start. Heck! Alright, one more once.
No complaints from me, because again, like, even just to spectate, like, this game is gorgeous. Good efforts, though. And again, keep in mind that Chris here's been like actively playing for like an hour and a half at this point. It's VR is really demanding.
So, from a fitness standpoint, yeah, that's something that I never talk enough about. I've been doing a daily fitness challenge. Just to give you a base idea, the level of activity that I do, my fitness trackers register anywhere between, 750 to 1,000 kcals for a 1-hour session. So if fitness is a thing, especially if you want to get into full body or just let yourself move around a little bit more, just getting your arms going. It burns a lot more than you think. Get that heart rate up. But the full body stuff, full body exhaustion. Ow.
That Mecha Guy's commenting on that last level, the chillest shootout I've ever seen. And just a quick note for time. I know we're taking a quick breather here, but we've got just about 4-ish minutes before we want to wrap up. So probably time for one more song once we're done catching our breath a bit. Commentary saying that this is so chill, and yeah, I agree. For a life and death shootout, surprisingly relaxing. Yeah, Mecha Guy's mentioning absolutely feels like a Tetsuya Mizuguchi experience. For folks that don't immediately remember that name, that is the wonderful force behind Rez, Child of Eden, Tetris Effect, and yeah, you are not wrong, Mecha Guy.
All right, so that was a fail. I think we are at about time, yeah?
Just about.
Operators have anything to say about it? We might be able to squeeze one more in, or do we want to transition out? Nobody else is in the room. They can't hear us.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if exactly how much wiggle room we've got, but it might be better to err on the side of caution at this point. But
sure thing.
But just in case, now might be a good moment just to mention a reminder to folks as to like who you are and where they can find you and what you're up to.
Yeah. So once again, I am ItsMxKris. I am a VR enthusiast, mostly rhythm and music games. I like putting on as much of a show as I do playing the games. You can find me on Twitch semi-regularly. It's ItsMxKris. ItsMxKris on Twitch. So it's been lovely to be able to put on a show for y'all. I hope more people can get into VR. I know it's not the most accessible thing, financially speaking, for some folks, but if you get the opportunity, again, I highly recommend. There is so much space to play, so many things to do, so many experiences, really. And thank you for the donations. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, for giving your time and money to this cause. And thank you again to the Link Up community for having me. I really appreciate it.
And thank you for having me on commentary as well. And yeah, we are going to transition out at this point. And again, I'm Shinji16. Most of you know me for my 2DX shenanigans. But again, like Chris said, it's not the most financially accessible thing at the moment, but it is getting more and more available, which is super exciting. And again, thank you for having us here.
See you next time.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Duffy's here. That was an awesome block from ItsMxKris. So thank you so much for sticking around and watching. Link Up 2 is supporting Direct Relief's COVID-19 outbreak response. Here in the United States and across the world, emergency aid, funding, PPE, and vaccines are urgently needed. Your collective donations help Direct Relief's mission in providing distribution and financial assistance across 105 countries. Go to linkup2.stormxleague.com to donate. Up next, we're going to have Andy Numbers with Zyber on commentary, playing some Densha to Go, so stay tuned while we get things ready for the next block. Thank you.
Still about gap, there's always time to fall on your face. What resist and rocks, there's planes in the brain. Face what? Always someone to do a race. Yeah, much of some up in the game. Thinking things have changed, but it's still up. So watch your step, cause still about gaps and rock. Or you'll wind up in a box. All brain up in the game. Thinking things have changed, but it's still the same. It's my kingdom. So watch your step, cause still about gaps and rock. Or you'll wind up in a always some rocks. All race.
When I said this is a change, I didn't know where to go. Confidence is an pressure for a while. Shiny said, telling me by my songs in my mind. But I know the way I want that always. Running up the step that first place. Into the dark inside, all the time of your world. Look at me when I love you.